So I bought the Tamron 35mm f2.8 merely because it was cheap. It cost me around $150, no, 150 euros or $160. It comes in decent packaging with a bunch of papers, lens caps and a lens hood, which is a nice addition. It weighs around 200 grams and it fits perfectly on my FX3. It's easy to use and carry around. Even though it says 35mm, I have a feeling it's a bit wider though. The lens has absolutely no buttons, only the focus ring. Minimum focusing distance is around 11 centimeters, which gives us a macro reproduction ratio of around 1:2, which is not true macro, but it's still a great addition in my opinion. The lens itself is weather sealed and front element is fluorine coated, which means or should mean that it's kinda resistant to water and rain, dirt. Obviously, I'm not inclined to test this out, but it's a good thing to have, I guess. My main concern when buying this lens was autofocus performance. I knew it used older and louder OSD motors. After extensive testing, I'm happy to say that AF is kinda good. I managed to make it miss the focus only a couple of times, and here is one of those examples. It mistakenly kept tracking me in the reflection of the glasses, but it's a minor gripe, I wouldn't dwell on it. Motors are a bit loud.
Stay a while and listen.
I also tested autofocus in 120p slow-mo. I wanted to see if there are any jitters when locking the focus. And lo and behold, there aren't any. Touch the focus and it just snaps on. Great stuff. One thing to note are my AF settings in camera. These gave me the best results. I'm using Sony FX3. Tamron is also selling a 20 and 24mm f2.8 with the same minimum focusing distance and unfortunately the same motors. But regardless, if they had a 50 and 85, it will make a great autofocusing set and probably the cheapest set on the market. Image quality is absolutely top notch. So much so that I did not even bother to shoot a flat brick wall and check corner sharpness throughout the f-stop range. It's kind of good. As soon as you take a look at the photos, it's really good. No fringing, no softness, at least not at first glance, and it's punching way above its weight class or price class. It's good for landscapes, portraits, close-up macro shots. All of these shots were processed with minimal editing in Adobe Bridge. Almost all of them are shot at f2.8. I stopped down to f8 for a couple of landscape shots, but that's pretty much it. Macro autofocus is consistent and I didn't even use object tracking. This is, in my humble opinion, the best 35mm lens with autofocus on the market. And yes, I will be definitely using it for my paid projects as well. Have a nice day, you absolutely beautiful beasts! This is, in my humble opinion, the absolutely best 35mm lens on the market, including autofocus. And yes, zaboravio sam, ja ne znam da pamtim stvari, jer sam autističan maksimalno.